Hello and welcome to Cable Plus Property, your #1 online educative platform on all issues related to land and landed properties. My name is Oiza. At Cable Plus Property, our aim is to ensure that all Nigerians and non-Nigerians have at the tip of their finger every information related to land acquisition, land procurement, building construction, planning, registration and documentation of land and landed properties. We provide you with everything you need to know about getting your properties registered and obtaining your planning permit. Land surveying is one of the most important professions in the built environment. It's only with surveying you're able to know where your land is located, what the shape of your land is, and the size of your land. In fact, you could say that without surveying, no profession in the built environment can work accurately. And that is why in this video, I'll be speaking with a retired permanent secretary and Surveyor General of the Lagos State Government. He's also a barrister of law and a fellow of the Nigerian Institution of Surveyors. Join me as I speak with Barrister Olatunbosun David Oluremi. This is Cable Plus Property. Now you find out that despite all of these processes, we still have problems of multiple entries of record copies, and it has led to, land grabbing possibly between people in the states. How do we, stem this problem, this tide?
Biblically, Jesus has 12 disciples, but it's one of the disciples that betrayed him. So such people are always in existence in the public service. I was in the office of Surveyor for 35 years. Out of 35 years, I was the Surveyor General and Permanent Secretary. I know what really happened. There is no way you won't get a black spot out of any white you have. So as a head, what you do is that you use the first man to police the second man. That's what I used when I was there. They were policing themselves. If somebody did something wrong, you do 24 hours and and I will call his attention. You did this, you do this, you do this. Don't try it again. If you try it again, it will enter into your file. But nowadays, most of the boys being admitted or given jobs in the public service are either man or man. The integrity is no longer there. Their intention is what they will take home, not how to improve the department. And this thing always gives most of us that are old men headaches. That this is not how we handed over the office to you. In some occasions, I used to talk to some of them. It can't carry you anywhere. Your name matters. I have to be frank to you. The money I make after my retirement, I did not even touch it when I was in the civil service. I don't have the opportunity. Not knowing that the members of public are studying me as a person. So really they got that I'm now on my own. Come and see jobs, left, right, job, left, right. And there are some people you must have helped, not knowing that you are rendering help to them. But they attach very much importance to what you have, the little things you have done. But our boss of nowadays, they don't wait for that. They want the thing now. So it's government itself that will change the system. Let them recruit the right hand into the right position. And they will be here.
The right peg for the right peg holes.
The round peg in the round peg. Once you raise sentiments, interrelationship, political affiliation, familiar issue. In those days, I didn't know anybody. I'm from a village boy. I just came to Road Secretariat, I did my interview on the same day, write our examination the same day, got result and do the interview the same day, and by 6 p.m. we were given our letter of admission, our letter of appointment. One day, it was a one-day assignment. I could recollect that we were about 32 in number. Later on, they shot us to 16, from 16 to 8, from 8 to 4. And the 4 of us were given appointments. And through the grace of God, I'm the only one that's alive out of the 4 that were appointed on that day. So, it's better to wait for one's time. It will come. Develop yourself first. That's the man who appointed me, who gave me the appointment was headed by Surveyor Olatunbosun. It's about 90 years old now. That's the culture imbibed in us. 1, go and develop yourself. 2, let the members of public know what you are. If you are the type that are looking for money, they will give you the money. If you are the one that's looking for your integrity, they are waiting for the future to compensate you. If you are the lazy type, they know you. If they are hardworking type, they know you. Civil service itself is a training arena. It depends on what you want to take out of it.
Okay. Let's talk about the certificate of occupancy. Now, land information certificate is part of the documents needed, and we know how difficult it is to get that certificate. What can be done? What is the solution to this problem?
I don't need to be ascribed any importance to myself. When I was the Surveyor General, what I did was that I went to Sterling Bank that they should come as. What the major problem is that government want the money to come in. Because some people always dry away the money. You will see the receipts. But at the end of the year, the value will be so low. So on becoming the Surveyor General by 2008, what I did was that I went to Sterling Bank, come and establish your office here. Let them pay your staff and you give them the receipt. And my accountant will collect the photocopy of that receipt, where the owner will take the receipt away. So during my tenure, I can beat my chest that it's only 7 days before you get your land information.
7 days?
7 days. 1, if your survey is correct, you will check it. If you lodge your red copy, they will check it. If you have paid your money, they will check it. Finally, they will go through your application. Whether your application ties with what you said you claim. Because there are so many things that delay that land information nowadays.
Is it still the same way it was when you were Surveyor General?
I don't think so. Because of so many issues. 1, my Sterling Bank representative is no longer in the office of Surveyor General. You want to apply for land information now, you apply to the Surveyor General, they will approve for payment. That may take about 5 days. Approve for payment, you go to Aromire Sterling Bank to pay. For the next 21 days, the original receipt may not come out. The applicant will be going there every day. The day is lucky to get the receipt now. He will now bring the photocopy back to the Surveyor General. The Surveyor General office, they have gotten their own computer set up in the account section that will confirm whether you pay or not. If the receipt you give to them does not tally with theirs, we will send you back. You go and start with standing again. If it is compatible with the ones they have there, they approve it of processing. And those applications will be taken to the technical side, which we call the charting office. In the charting office, there's another problem there now. Most of the survey done in Lagos were survey done before 2008. And after 2008, we are now adopting what we call Vector 4 system. They have really vectorized every land. When we get there, I will explain what they mean by that vector. And that vector itself is giving the applicant a lot of problems. Because most of these survey plan, they must have done their approved building plan. Some have done their survey plan. Some have done their government consent. Some might have used it for mortgaging. Now, if they now transfer the property from A to B, producing the same survey plan, you said the survey plan is wrong. What is wrong with this?
You mentioned earlier that land is static. That means land doesn't change.
It doesn't change.
So why do we have variation in the amount of money paid for survey plan across states?
I've been trying to explain the metamorphosis or development of survey for a layman, but I will still go further. When we joined the service, we were doing what we call geographical coordinates. Then, using what we call NNO, Nigerian National Origin. As a result of development of science and technology, we shift to what we call UTM, Universal Traverse Marketing. There is a conversion system between the NNO to UTM. By NNO and UTM, we produce plan as at that time 1 meter to 500, 1 meter to 1,000, 1 meter to 2,000. So most of topographic plans produced to check jobs were 1 in 500, 1 in 1,000, 1 in 2,000. That is, if you put your pen on that plan like this, you are covering 2,000 meters, or 1,000 meters, or 500 meters. So things were changing from NNO to UTM. From UTM, we still remain UTM now, but we are now using what we call vector system. The vector system, you can get 1 to 1, 1 to 3, 1 to 5. Which one will be clearer? 1 to 1 to 1 in 500, or 1 to 1 in 500, or 1 to 1 in 1,000. You will not be able to understand, but I will explain to you. When you plot a survey plan in 1 in 1,000, it will be very smaller. Because any point like this is 1,000. When you plot in 500, 1 in 500, it will be bigger than the 1 in 5,000. But when you plot in 1 to 1, you can, even the person walking on the street, you can see them. The car going on the street, you can see them. The edge of your property, you can see them. Now, with the introduction of vectorization now, in 2008, where Lagos State spent a lot of money to cover the whole Lagos State and establish about 600 controls to govern those areas. And the cost station, they are now establishing it in each of the divisions of Lagos State.
Are the fees negotiable?
It's not a matter of negotiation. What I'm saying is that the vector system is now clearer. It's not easy for you to forge anything. If you go to the office of Surveyor General, they give you the vector map that covered all the houses here. You will see all the houses standing. You will see all the flowers, all the electric poles, all the footpaths that link each of the houses. That's the meaning of vector. It has been vectorized. But in the olden days, when we use 1 in 500, 1 in 500 they can cover the whole of the compound here. How do you identify my house? How do you identify my neighbor? So it's very easy to manipulate. But now, there's no hidden agenda. You can't hide under any finger as far as solving is concerned. If they want to do it the way it should be done.
So is that what has affected?
That's what has affected them now. At times when they do the survey, the vector survey that is supposed to be may rotate by 90%. Some by 80%. When something is supposed to be like this, when it goes like this, this is 180. When it goes like this is 90%. When it goes like this, that's 270%. These are part of the training of the surveyors. You know, whether there is transformation, transliteration, or rotation.
Let's talk about excision. What is it about?
Excision.
And the process in terms of the documents required to commence it, the stages involved, and the end product.
Excision became pronounced in 1981. Though Lagos being part of Western region, there were excisions there. Let me first of all define what we mean by excision. Excision is the instrument state governments used to acquire land from private interest or for public use. Like this old secretariat was acquired by the former Western region, providing public use. There are certain families that owns all this land. Like our secretariat, from Alade Market, Radio Lagos, Secretariat, CBD, up to Magodo, Sangisha, Omole, down up to part of Ketu. We call it 2,700 acre acquisition in those days. Western region acquired it before the establishment of Lagos state government. Their interest is known to them, but it became useful after creation of state. All those lands were carved out, were surveyed, and compensations were paid to the original owner. One of the objectives of Western Region government then was to establish industrial establishments. You can see Oba Accra left and right, Guinness, cocoa industry, and so on were acquired for establishment of industries, and they were zoned as industrial zone. There are some areas that were zoned for commercial purpose, like your Alade markets. There are zones that were zoned for institutional zone. That is why from Radio bus stop, going to Alausa to the new secretariat, all those are zoned for institutional zone. You see either ministry, departments, Radio Lagos, secretariats. They were acquired for that purpose. Then, along Oregon here, you will see light industry acquisitions. All those acquisitions, the lands were taken from the original owner in order to satisfy public and government interest. Now, this acquisition you are talking about are three kinds. You have what we call specific acquisition. That is when you acquire land for a specific purpose. At times we acquire such purpose for establishment of schools, construction of roads, construction of hospitals, and any other things that have government interest. They are specific acquisition. That's why we call them committed acquisition. If you build anything there without government touch, it may be 20 years, it may be 50 years. Immediately they remember there's a committed acquisition there, will be sent out. They will demolish whatever you put there. Then we have what we call non-committed acquisition. Non-committed acquisition are the acquisition done by the government, so that the government can have what we call land bank. So anytime they need land, we have so acquisition, they are good there. I can remember when we want to do low-cost housing, the people from Ikuru did not allow us to go there. They sent thugs to come and beat us to take our instruments. But when the state government put its feet down, by giving us all the necessary security apparatus, Udongoyan low-cost housing is still there now, and that's how so most low-cost houses were. They got land to develop them. Gagada, that's the government got their land. I can be mentioning many like that, but to go straight to the point. The third one is the one empowered by land use decree, which we call revocation of rights of occupancy. That's the third one. I said committed, non-committed, then revocation. Revocation came up when the first governor of Lagos State, Governor Bolaji Johnson, found that miscreants are now living Apapa, and they are now covering the majority of land along Badagry Road. So he asked the state government to issue an apparatus which we call global acquisition. That is from Mile 2 to Badagry. You must not do anything without getting the consent of the state government. We call it global acquisition. But global in language, but it's a sort of revocation of right of occupancy. Because there are citizens that were originally living there. The intention is that no ethnic group should go and bombard that place. Because by that time, many people from the Eastern Bloc are moving from Apapa en masse to Badagry Road. How do we curtail this? Is to introduce what we call global acquisition, and then we do some revocation inside it so that some people can develop, because they don't have anywhere to be. That's their land of inheritance.
So. How can a prospective land buyer find a registered land surveyor, and what is your advice to them?
I started earlier that surveying is the bedrock of many developments. The first thing a surveyor, you can get one through the Nigerian National Surveyor. They are just opposite from our WAPCO there. You can contact the state government if you are financially buoyant. Then contact a registered surveyor. don't give your job to a registered surveyor. This registered surveyor, they don't have any office. They don't have no string attached to them. They can collect your money and run away. And just give you one paper. And since you are a novice in that area, you will collect the paper. It is when you want to do your documents now, you find that another paper is not given to you. And that paper given to you has no red copy too. So there is no way you can use such paper. Because survey itself, it has no artistic or artistic value. When they give you a paper survey, you look at it. Is this what I'm paying 1 million for? But when
professional,
when a town planner draw you what do you call it, building plan, when you open first page, second page, third page, you feel satisfied that you've had value for your money. It's not like that in some. Only one sheet of paper. But without one sheet of paper, your planner cannot do anything. Without one sheet of paper, your what do you call them? Architect cannot do anything. Without one paper, your structural engineer cannot do anything. You see? And that's why I say it's the first and first, the bedrock of any. Once you have done a very good certified survey plan, the sky's your limit. You can go to anywhere.
Would like you to say something about the Cable Plus property endeavor, sir. About this program and your advice to the Cable Plus property organization.
My advice to them is that I've been hearing a lot about them. I'm very happy that we have some outfit like this that propagates built environments. Because members of public, many of them, they don't know anything. All what they have their money. And they want to spend their money on property. How they go about it, they don't know. What are the necessary requirements, they don't know. But unfortunately, most of them always contact all these, what do you call them? Quacks. There is quackery in everything. Even in town planning, in the structural drawings, architectural drawings. But they should go to the professionals. One, they know what caused them to harm the position they are. They will defend their name, defend their profession, practice ethically, and they won't like to soil their integrity.
Thank you very much for watching this video. I trust that you have learned a lot about the surveying profession. Make sure you like and share this video with friends, family, and colleagues. Also, click the subscribe button and turn on notification so you can be the first to know when we upload our next video. Also, head on to Instagram, follow us at Cable Plus Property, like our Facebook page at Cable Plus Property. Till we come your way again, my name is Oiza, and this is Cable Plus Property.